A lot of earnings going on. I wanted to focus first on Amazon because those shares are one of the decliners amongst otherwise what has been some positive news. We were expecting a little bit of a margin hit given that we have been really investing in that 1-day prime, but investors seem a little bit more caught off guard than otherwise we would have thought. Are the margins here worse than we expect?
Well, I think they clearly are, and I think you're exactly right. The issue is going to be around the investments they're having to make on essentially building out their own logistics empire, in terms of shipping, in terms of doing more of their own. They're buying airplanes, they're buying trucks to deliver all of these packages on their own to get to that 1-day shipping. And that's a big investment, and the question is that how sustainable is that? How big of an impact does that have on their margins as they look to eventually, I'm sure, bring this to other countries around the world? How sustainable is that? I mean, these are big questions that I think a lot of people have, and it's not clear how long it's going to take for some of that to shake out.
Bob, talk to me about competition, though, because as someone who uses Amazon quite a bit, I've noticed that over the last year or so, there are a lot more reliable options to get things delivered to my home that didn't necessarily exist, 4 or 5 years ago. How's Amazon dealing with that?
Well, you're absolutely right. There are plenty of options. And, interesting little side story of my own, having recently purchased something from Amazon that I thought was going to come in one package with 5 different packages in one day, all from the same order. And they were all the exact same thing. It was very odd. So, I mean, clearly there are ways to improve some of the details of the logistics. There are a lot of challengers out there. Everybody, of course, is primed, sorry for the pun, to deal with Amazon in terms of trying to make themselves competitive. We've seen a lot of efforts from other online vendors, from traditional makers. Everybody knows what they have to do to step up their game to compete against Amazon. And despite the fact that we've heard this government rumbling about how they've destroyed retail, I think there's a lot more to the challenges with retail than just Amazon. But companies are getting smarter in how they try to address it. And you're absolutely right. There are a lot more challengers, and there are some more efficient ways to do it. So, does the company really want to invest in becoming a logistics giant as well? That's an interesting question long term.